Have you ever felt like you're walking into a crowded room wearing invisible, incredibly heavy chains? You know that suffocating weight in your chest, the hyper-awareness of every single glance, that overwhelming, exhausting feeling that you're just constantly being judged? Well, what if you had the power to literally snap those chains right now? Today, we're channeling some major anime hero energy. You know, that epic moment when the protagonist realizes their greatest power was locked inside their own mind the whole time? We're going to rewrite the rules of social anxiety, break totally free from our mental limitations, and completely transform how we experience the world. So what if 80% of your stress is just a story? I know, it's a pretty bold statement, but I want you to really let that sink in for a second. When you're in the grips of social anxiety, the pain is incredibly visceral. Your heart is racing, your palms are sweating, and the danger feels so real. But the astonishing truth here, the vast majority of this stress isn't actually coming from the room, the people around you, or the conversation. It's a story. It's a narrative looping entirely in our own heads. The fear is real, absolutely. But the threat? It's almost entirely constructed. Okay, let's dive into this. We are going to decode and apply the profound wisdom from Don Miguel Ruiz's transformative book, The Four Agreements. But we're looking at it through a very specific lens for this explainer. This is absolutely not a guide on how to be some billionaire CEO or 10x your morning routine. Nope. This is a targeted toolkit for dismantling those deeply rooted mental habits that actively fuel our social anxiety and cause us so much unnecessary suffering. And to get there, we've got a really clear roadmap ahead. First, we'll look at the root of social anxiety. Then we'll dive into the agreements. Agreement 1, fixed internal dialogue. Agreement 2, it's not about you. Agreement 3, stop guessing, start asking. And Agreement 4, ditch the perfection. Finally, we'll wrap up with the rules for inner peace.
All right, part 1, the root of social anxiety, why we actually create our own suffering.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. To fix the problem, we have to understand where it actually comes from. And the core premise here is absolutely paradigm shifting. Our social anxiety doesn't actually come from the world around us. Think about it. From a very young age, we're handed these agreements. They're essentially rules about what we should be, what success looks like, what people will think, what we should fear, and what makes us worthy of love. And as kids, we just unknowingly agree to these rules. Over time, these inherited beliefs solidify into the exact reality that causes us stress today: social anxiety, chronic overthinking, and massive unnecessary suffering. We're essentially playing a rigged game using rules we never even chose.
Moving right along to Agreement 1, fix internal dialogue. Be impeccable with your word.
This, right here, is our first major tool to break free. Words possess an immense, almost magical power. But the absolute tragedy of social anxiety is that we use this power as a weapon against ourselves. Just listen to these. I'm not good enough. I will fail. I am lazy. I am incapable. Just think about how incredibly heavily those words weigh on your chest. We repeat these brutal phrases to ourselves silently, day after day, in crowds and meetings at parties. And here's the truly terrifying part. Over time, your brain doesn't know the difference between a passing anxious thought and an absolute fact. It just accepts these lies as your permanent reality. So how do we fix this right now? First up, you've got to aggressively watch your internal monologue like a hawk. The second you catch yourself starting that negative loop, stop. Stop using words against yourself immediately. Actually, scratch that. Don't just stop, reframe it. Don't say you're awkward, say you're learning. Next, refuse to spread gossip about others. Why? Because judging others just trains your brain to expect judgment right back. And finally, only speak what you truly believe. When you start aligning your words with truth, the anxiety literally loses its foundation.
Okay, part 3, Agreement 2, it's not about you. Don't take anything personally. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it completely flips our usual perspective. For anyone battling social anxiety, caring way too much about what other people think is really the core of the struggle, right? We spend immense energy trying to be liked by literally everyone, which, let's be honest, is fundamentally impossible. Well, this agreement is your ultimate shield against that. When someone is rude to you, your social anxiety screams that it's your fault, but it actually reflects their own terrible state of mind. If someone criticizes you, it's entirely based on their own rigid worldview. And if someone dislikes you, it's just a product of their own unresolved history. Almost everything people do is about them, it's not about you.
I really want you to memorize this exact question. Is this really about me or about the person saying it? Seriously, the next time you're at a gathering and someone gives you a weird look, or a coworker is short with you, and you feel that familiar panic starting to rise, just pause. Ask yourself this direct question, because I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, the answer is the latter. You're just a supporting character in their own stressful movie. So detach from it. Let it go.
Next up, agreement 3. Stop guessing, start asking. Don't make assumptions.
Oh man, if you're an overthinker, this is the perfect antidote. We are absolute experts at inventing elaborate, devastating conflicts out of literally thin air. We create these entire fictional scenarios in our heads without a single shred of actual proof. You know this spiral. You send a text, they don't reply immediately, and bam, your brain goes, he's ignoring me. She's completely offended by what I said. They don't respect me at all. They did this on purpose to hurt my feelings. Boom, boom, boom. Your heart rate is skyrocketing, your anxiety is peaking, and you're preparing for a massive confrontation. All because of a story you completely fabricated. It's exhausting.
Let's move to the next part and see how this builds, because we have to break that loop. And here's exactly how. Step 1. Consciously stop making the assumption. Just catch yourself in the act. Step 2. Ask direct questions. Step 3. Clarify and verify the actual facts. And step 4, have one honest conversation. It is honestly staggering how an entire mountain of assumed conflict and anxiety can be completely destroyed by just saying, "Hey, did you mean this?" and hearing them say, "Oh no, I was just super tired." Mind-blowing, right?
All right, agreement 4. Ditch the perfection, always do your best.
So social anxiety totally thrives on perfectionism. But here's the thing. Doing your best does absolutely not mean demanding flawless execution in every single social interaction. We're not machines. Our capacity fluctuates daily. Imagine your energy as a battery. Today, maybe you slept great, you feel confident, and your best is at 100%. You're outgoing, you're sharp. But tomorrow, you might be exhausted, stressed out, and feeling incredibly anxious. On that day, your absolute maximum capacity might only be 50%. And here's the secret. Giving that 50% on a bad day means you are still doing your absolute best for that specific day.
So, the crucial point here is to judge yourself by your effort, not just your results. If you went to the party and only stayed for 20 minutes because that was all you could realistically handle, but you tried, that was your best. That is enough. Self-punishment and extreme anxiety really only begin when we demand the impossible from ourselves. You got to give yourself some grace.
Finally, Section 6, Rules for Inner Peace. Bringing the 4 agreements together.
We've gone through all 4 agreements, but the real magic happens when they become a cohesive operating system, one that's designed to dramatically drop your stress levels and rebuild your social confidence from the ground up. So here is your daily 4-step toolkit for social calm. Number 1, don't speak badly of yourself, be impeccable with your word. 2, don't take others' words to heart. Remember, it's about them, not you. 3, don't guess, ask questions, stop making those assumptions. And 4, drop perfectionism. Just do your best today. If you run your thoughts through this mental filter every single day, you'll systematically dismantle your social anxiety.
And that leads us to the ultimate goal, inner freedom. This is the psychological calm achieved by changing the rules inside your head, rather than trying to change the world around you. Because while everyone else is out there totally exhausted, trying to control how people perceive them, trying to force the external world to change, your ultimate anime-style power move is mastering your internal world. When you do that, you become practically untouchable.
Which leaves us with this final, truly vital question. If true change, true freedom from the exhausting weight of social anxiety starts entirely in your head, which old rule are you going to break today? Will you finally stop the negative self-talk? Will you stop assuming people are constantly judging you? The chains are yours to break. The power is totally in your hands. So get out there and rewrite your agreements.